Alright, what is up everyone, Little Bat here, and today I want to present my Dragoon build with Axe to you. This build is really strong. You can one-shot a lot of bosses throughout. I will go ahead and give advance warning. The only bosses that usually might take 2, maybe 3 shots are the smaller human enemy type, due to the fact that the combination will not hit them with all the hits since it goes up in the air. But if you have it set up, especially past 200 with the different primaries being stacked on your accessory, that first hit will lock them down with paralyze, and you can generally get the second head off pretty easy to go ahead and get the job done. The way I've got this built is for where it will do moderate to really good jump damage. If you want, you can transition over to the other Dragoon class without having to change any of your command abilities or anything on your gear, the way I've got it set up, and then you go for the Holy Dragoon build like I'm using now for whenever you're going to dedicated boss fights, so that your first combination you're going to get that extra break damage applied to your weapon skill. I decided I wanted to make another axe build, but I wanted to change it up from the traditional. Instead of Cyclone Rush, which is one of my favorites, I wanted to go ahead and use this axe ability, especially with him, because I'm not stacking stamina like I am with the others. For my primary blessing, it has been switched over to Odin. That way I'm stacking more strength and agility opposed to strength and stamina like I do with my other axe combat classes, since his jump ability is based on agility damage. So with that, we'll go ahead and get to the affinities, and I can show you how I've got this set up and what I am pushing on the gear for him. So the first thing, of course, I am pushing the 600 Samurai. I'm actually put it way over. That way I'm getting that extra strength and agility to top it off. That way I'm getting the criticals and that parry for my combination damages with him. As you can see, I'm also pushing the Dragoon up. I don't have anything to reduce MP cost on him, but with the Mighty Strikes that combined and the Lightbringer from the Berserker, that's also building up my MP while I'm in combat, and of course with the Void Knight 600 for that haste, and also that 250 Void Rune to help boost that MP that comes back to me. I am pushing the 600 Monk again with the Muscle Belt and the Mantra for the double health boost and that non-elemental damage that you get from the 600. I'm pushing the 600 Summoner again, because I do have all the primaries stacked on my accessory. That way they are getting boosted up with him. As you can see, I've got the Berserker at 582, and now they have, since I believe it's probably this latest patch, the weapons now can hit 350%. You're looking for a weapon at 270%, and that's what I'm looking for now. As soon as I do, I will move the Berserker onto another piece. That way that 350 and that 250 will make it 600, and I can rock the 600 Berserker. That way I can chain and always get that free Lightbringer while I'm jumping around on enemies. As you can see, these other 400s I'm getting from my monsters as normal and going down. And you really want also the Red Mage 250 on this one. Now if you want, you can substitute, I will say, out the Red Mage, kind of like I did on the Berserker, for the Cyclic Warrior. That way when you're jumping around on trash enemies or doing, an enemy rush or a dungeon, every time you're killing something and they're soul bursting, it's going to keep refreshing your buffs. That way you don't have to worry about getting on your sub and redoing it. But for him, I wanted to change it up a little bit and go with this type. That way that charge time is really reduced, because with Cyclone Rush, the difference is while you're charging up Cyclone Rush, you are doing damage to the enemy, and if you are stacking those summon affinities, especially the Ramu and the Shiva, they're already going to have paralyze or stun put on them. However, when you're using this combo ability, you're just a standing target. There's no damage output, so they're not locked down yet. They won't be locked down until you let that combination go. As you can see, I'm also pushing the Assassin 250 to help boost the agility for the jump, to give it a little bit extra damage. Going down my gear, you can see here that I'm pushing normally, the strength, the near-death damage dealt, the Lightbringer damage dealt, but on this one I pushed the charge attack damage dealt and the charge attack break damage dealt. Instead of crit and critical break damage, I wanted to change it up a little bit, especially with that axe, because it is just full charge time focus with him. And as you can see here, like I said, I was stacking my primary blessings. I got the Shiva, the Ramu, the Alexander. That way they're getting that debuff, Ifrit, and of course I am stacking Odin. So he's getting the big 5 debuffs on him while I'm doing it. That Ifrit and that Odin to increase my damage, that Alexander to reduce their stats, that Ramu to lock them down with Paralyze, and that Shiva to put the slow debuff on them. For my command abilities themselves, you can see I'm using Mighty Strikes Reinforced to even knock that charge time a little bit more, just in case. Like I said, if you want to change out either probably, you know, the red mage, or you can even change out the agility boost with the assassin if you want, but I'd probably change out the red mage for that cyclic, especially when I get that berserker to 600. That way I can just spam enemies. I'm always going to get that Lightbringer and get my buffs refreshed. Going down the list, you can see, like I said, I was stacking that near death, that Lightbringer damage dealt, the charge attack, and the charge break damage. Also stacking on the gear, the jump, and the axe combo damage. Like I said, I didn't put any MP reductions whatsoever, because when you're jumping around on them, you're going to be soul bursting. You're going to have Lightbringer on, which is automatically giving you MP anyway, so it doesn't really matter that much. Here, during the master points, you can see I'm pushing nothing but strength, agility, and then I put the 50 affinity points in to get 750% more, give me that 800 mark. That way it's more strength and agility. I'm getting that Lightbringer speed bonus from the Dragoon, and I'm also getting that built-in Lancet effect from him. As you can see here, that this is just simply transitioning over from the Holy Dragoon to the other. That way, the further away you are, you get that boost to your jump damage. And the jump does have a good little bit of AoE on it. So if they're clustered up, you can still really do some damage and just chain them out and just spam your jump and get rushes over done pretty quick. Like I was talking about in the beginning video, you will see here while I'm running the Null Void that Astos is my first opponent. Because he's a human-sized opponent, part of my initial combo will miss. It's going to knock him down a good bit. It's going to lock him down with the Paralyze and the Slow. And it gives me just enough time. You don't have to do another full charge, but you can. But since he's already going to have all the debuffs on him from this one right here, you can just do a quick charge, let it go, and bam, he's done. So you will have to be a little bit careful, especially on the higher rank like this is, because I think this is rank 8 that I was doing here on the Null Void. Because if they do hit you, they will take off all your different buffs that you're wearing, and it's going to knock your damage down and make it, you know, a little bit longer charge time. So yeah, for him, BK, and especially the Warrior Light, because he loves to put up his shield and block stuff, he can be a real pain. When it comes to him, that's when I would probably recommend putting your second combo, maybe that to Cyclone Rush. That way you're doing that damage and locking him down. Just drop your axe down and you'll still do major damage with this build. But for the bigger guys, you definitely can use this one and just one-shot most bosses. So that pretty much wraps up my Dragoon and the way I got him set up. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you got any questions, please feel free to ask, and I'll see you on the next. Thank you, and have a good night.